हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज हम बात करने वाले हैं क्लास 9th मैथ्स NCERT चैप्टर नंबर 6 लाइंस एंड एंगल्स की। पहले एक राइट एंगल दिया हुआ है। एक राइट एंगल वो एंगल होता है जिसमें दोनों आर्म्स के बीच का एंगल 90 डिग्री एग्जैक्ट होता है, ना कम ना ज़्यादा, एग्जैक्टली 90 डिग्रीज। ऑब्ट्यूस एंगल वो एंगल होता है जिसमें दोनों आर्म्स के बीच का एंगल 90 डिग्री से ज़्यादा होगा, ऑलवेज ग्रेटर देन 90 डिग्री। एक्यूट एंगल वो एंगल होता है जिसके अंदर दोनों आर्म्स के बीच का एंगल इट इज़ बिटवीन 0 एंड लेस देन 90 डिग्रीज, फ्रॉम 0 टू लेस देन 90 डिग्रीज। कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री एंगल क्या होते हैं? कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री एंगल एक एंगल्स का पेयर होता है जिसमें दो एंगल्स मिलाकर 90 डिग्री बनाते हैं, यानी एंगल ए प्लस एंगल बी इज इक्वल टू 90 डिग्रीज। सच ए पेयर ऑफ एंगल्स विल बी कॉल्ड अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री एंगल। स्ट्रेट एंगल क्या होता है? जब एक स्ट्रेट लाइन पर एक रे हिट करती है तो जो एंगल बनता है वो हम स्ट्रेट एंगल कहते हैं। रिफ्लेक्स एंगल क्या होता है? रिफ्लेक्स एंगल एक ऐसा एंगल है जो 360 डिग्री माइनस ऑफ द करंट एंगल से हम निकालते हैं। अब लीनियर पेयर ऑफ एंगल्स की बात करते हैं। जब भी एक लाइन पर एक रे फॉल करती है तो वो दो एंगल्स बनाती है, जो आप देख सकते हैं इन दिस केस ए एंड बी, जिनका सम 180 डिग्रीज होता है। उसको हम कहते हैं कि वो एक लीनियर पेयर ऑफ एंगल्स है। तो इसका कन्वर्स भी ट्रू है, यानी अगर दो एंगल्स जो कि पेयर में हैं 180 डिग्री का एंगल बना रहे हैं तो जो नॉन कॉमन आर्म्स हैं दैट विल फॉर्म अ लाइन। यही दोनों एक्सिम्स में दिया गया है। तो इन शॉर्ट लीनियर पेयर एक्सियम हम ये कहेंगे कि कोई भी रे अगर एक लाइन पे पड़ती है तो जो पेयर ऑफ एंगल्स होगा उसका सम 180 डिग्री होगा। या फिर अगर हमें ये दिया गया है कि एंगल पेयर का जो वैल्यू है दैट इज़ 180 डिग्रीज, तो हम मानेंगे कि उनके नॉन कॉमन आर्म्स जो हैं वो एक लाइन को फॉर्म करती हैं। अब जब दो लाइंस इंटरसेक्ट करती हैं तो वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स इक्वल होते हैं। इस केस में दो लाइंस ए बी एंड सी डी ओ पर इंटरसेक्ट कर रही हैं, तो हमें ये प्रूव करना है कि वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स जो हैं वो इक्वल होते हैं। तो विल मूव फॉरवर्ड हियर। एंगल सी ओ ए प्लस एंगल ए ओ डी इज इक्वल टू 180 डिग्रीज। वाई? बिकॉज दीज फॉर्म द नॉन कॉमन आर्म्स ऑफ अ सिंगल लाइन, तो इसलिए इनकी वैल्यू जो है ये 180 डिग्री है। सिमिलरली सी ओ ए एंड सी ओ बी also form 180 degrees as per the linear pair axiom that we have studied above। तो हम देखते हैं कि सी ओ एम ए प्लस ए ओ डी ये भी 180 है, सी ओ ए प्लस सी ओ बी ये भी 180 है। दोनों को इक्वेट करते हैं, सी ओ ए कट जाएगा एंड वी गेट ए ओ डी इज इक्वल टू सी ओ बी विच आर वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स। एंड सिमिलरली वी कैन प्रूव ए ओ सी इज इक्वल टू बी ओ डी। नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू एग्जाम्पल 1, यहाँ पर पी ओ आर और आर ओ क्यू, पी ओ आर एंड आर ओ क्यू का रेशियो 5:7 दिया है। हम जानते हैं पी ओ आर प्लस आर ओ क्यू मिला करके 180 डिग्री होंगे, तो इसलिए 5:7 का रेशियो दिया है। तो हम विल टेक द फर्स्ट एंगल एज 5x, द सेकेंड एंगल एज 7x। वी सॉल्व एंड गेट x इज इक्वल टू 15 डिग्रीज। So POR is 5x, that is 75 degrees. ROQ is 7x, that is 105 degrees. एग्जाम्पल 2 में हमें एक लाइन पर तीन अलग अलग रेज दी गई हैं एंड OR is the angle bisector of POS and OT is the angle bisector of QOS. So if POS is given to us as X, so we have to find what is ROT. So we know that the POQ is a line, so all the angles which form which can be added to for POQ will have the value as 190 degrees. तो हम प्लेस करते हैं that is POR plus ROS plus SOT and TOQ is equal to 180 degrees. And since POS is X and POR and ROS is being bisected by OR, so POR is equal to ROS and each of them is equal to x by 2. So x by 2 plus x by 2 plus we have this SOT is also equal to TOQ, because OT is a bisector of the angle SOQ or QOS, whatever you might want to say. So it is an angle bisector, so SOT is equal to TOQ, and we can replace TOQ as SOT and then add it to SOT and we get 2 SOT. So SOT becomes 180 degrees minus x by 2, that is 90 degrees minus x by 2. Now angle ROS, as we know, is x by 2 and SOT is also 90 degrees. So what we do is that we place that ROS as x by 2, x by 2 as ROS, and then ROS is taken to the left hand side, so SOT plus ROS is equal to 90 degrees, and so ROT, which is found by SOT and ROS, becomes your 90 degrees. Now coming to example 3. Now in example 3 we have 4 rays which are there. We construct and extend the line from O to T. हम T तक लाइन को खींच कर बढ़ा देते हैं, and then we get, because TOQ is a line, okay, so the angles below it, their sum is also 180 degrees, and the angles above it, their sum is also 180 degrees. So like we take POQ plus QOR plus SOR plus POS, that is equal to 360 degrees. POS consists of POT and TOS. So POT and POQ is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because of linear pair axiom, the non-common arms of a line and a ray is falling in between them, and so we put POT as SOT plus POT plus POQ. Okay, now for the second line it is SOT plus SOR plus ROQ, that is equal to 180 degrees. So both 1 and 2 are equal to 180 degrees, so we add them, so we get 360 degrees on the RHS, and we get this angle POTL, POQ, SOT, SOR and ROQ. Now SOT and POT will form POS, so we make POS, POQ, SOR and ROQ, that is equal to 360 degrees. Now example 6.1 of the NCERT, we have here AOC plus BOE is equal to 70 degrees and BOD is 40 degrees. We have to find BOE and reflex angle of COE. Now AOC plus COE plus BOE is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because of the linear pair axiom that states that whenever rays hit a line, the non-common arms would form a line. So since AOB is a line, then AOC and COE and BOE, all they form 180 degrees. Their sum forms 180 degrees, and we know that AOC plus BOE is 70 degrees, that is given to us. So we get COE as 110 degrees. If you want to take the reflex, we'll subtract it from 360 and get 250 degrees. Now we have got BOD is equal to 40 degrees, and COA is just the vertically opposite angle of BOD. Since it is vertically opposite, hence it is equal to BOD. So COE is also equal to 40 degrees, and hence COE and BOE is equal to 70 degrees. So 40 degrees of COA plus BOE, so BOE R comes equal to 30 degrees. Now question number 2. We have now a perpendicular OP, and then we have rays falling. We have angle A, B and C. Now we have gotten POY is 90 degrees because it is a perpendicular, and the ratio between angles A and B is 2:3. We have to find the angle C. Now we consider the line XOY. XOM plus MOP plus POY is equal to 180 degrees by the linear pair axiom. So what is XOM? XOM is your B and MOP is your A, that is equal to 90 degrees. Why it is equal to 90 degrees? Because POY is a perpendicular, so it is equal to 90 degrees. So the rest 90 degree comes to B plus A, so B plus A is 90 degrees. Now we put the ratio there, The 3x is for B and 2x for A. So 5x is 180 degree. Sorry, 5x is 90 degree, x is 18 degrees. So A becomes 36 and B becomes 54 degrees. Now from the next the below the line we have xon plus NOY, that is equal to 180 degrees. Now xon is your angle C, and NOY is vertically opposite to the angle XOM, so it is equal to B. So XON is equal to 126 degrees because it is 180 degrees minus 54 degrees. Now question number 3, we have a line ST and we have PQ and R, a triangle which is being made here. Now it is given to us that angle PQR is equal to PRQ. That means it is an isosceles triangle because the two angles are equal. This means the sides would also be equal. So, and we have to prove that angle PQS is equal to angle PRT. So on PQS and see, PQS and PQR is 180 degrees. Similarly, PRQ and PRT is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because of the linear pair axiom. The rays falling on a straight line and the two angles which are there should be equal to 180 degrees. That is the linear pair axiom. And with that we equate these both equations, and PQR and PRQ, it is given to us that these angles are the same, so they get cancelled out and we get PQS is equal to PRT. Now here we have a line AOB and we have two rays C and D falling on this very line, and we have four angles XY and W and Z, and see XY and W and Z, all these angles are equal to 160 degrees because there are both sides of that ray angles around a point. So because for AOB, according to the linear pair axiom itself, AOC plus COB should be equal to 180 degrees, and similarly AOD and DOB should be equal to 180 degrees. So hence x plus y plus y plus z is equal to 360 degrees, and also x plus y is equal to w plus z. So now since see x plus y plus w plus z is 2x plus y, which is equal to 360 degrees, so x plus y is equal 180 degrees, which is equal to 1 plus z. So AOB is a line by the axiom that if the sum of adjacent angles is 180 degrees, then the non-common arms form a line. So what we can do here is that instead of that LP axiom that we assumed, we can assume here is that since it is angle around a point, an angle around a point is like all the angles which are around a point will have a sum equal to 360 degrees, because that is what a complete angle is, the whole circle of the angles. So x plus y and y plus z, it is given it is equal, so we assume that it is 2x y plus z as x plus y, and it becomes 2x plus y, which is equal to 360 degrees. So x plus y is 180 degrees, and similarly w plus z is also 180 degrees. So AOB is a line because the angles which were formed by the adjacent so the adjacent angles form the non-common arms as a line. So AOB is a line here. Now we have a line POQ in which we have a perpendicular OR and we have a ray OS. Now we have to prove that angle ROS is equal to half of angle QOS minus POS. So POS plus SOR plus ROQ will be equal to 180 degrees because of the linear pair axiom. Now now we know that OR is a perpendicular, so the angle POR is also 90 degrees and angle ROQ is also 90 degrees. So angle POR is nothing but POS plus SOR, so that is equal to 90 degrees, and QOS is your 90 degrees, that is ROQ plus angle of SOR. So what we do is that we put ROS and POS instead of that 90 degrees, so we get 2 ROS and we get angle POS. So QOS minus POS comes there, and 2 gets to the other side, becomes 1/2, and hence we prove that angle ROS is equal to half of QOS minus angle POS. Now we have a ray that is xy, which is extended to P, and we have a line that is P by X, and we have two rays Q and Z, and the angle Z by Q is given to us as 64, and then YQ is given as a bisector, and we have assumed that the angles Q YZ and Q YP are both having the angle X. Now we know according to the linear pair axiom that PYQ plus QYZ plus ZYX is equal to 180 degrees by the linear pair axiom. So 2x plus 64 degrees is 180 degree, and we get x is equal to 58 degrees. Now the angle XYQ, the angle XYQ that you have is a combination of angles XYZ plus QYZ, which is equal to 64 degrees plus 58 degrees, that is equal to 122 degrees. Now QYP is equal to 58 degrees, but when we have to take the reflex, we'll subtract it by 360 degrees and we'll get the answer as 302 degrees. Thank you for your time.